gentlemen, we're going to start our concert this evening. We have a lot of great big band favorites for you. I'm sure we'll bring back a lot of memories over the years. My name is Howard Schneider, and this is the Kewaskum Community Big Band. And even though quite a few of the people are from Kewaskum, we have people in the band from Grafton, Chilton, Fond du Lac, as well as West Bend. And let's see, what cities have I left out here? Sheboygan. We have one person, the elderly statesman, by the way, Mr. John Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up, take a bow, John. So a big round of applause for John. Now, if you think you're too old to play an instrument, John is 85 years old. Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's got a few years on me. Not many, but a few. And we have some young people in the band that are actually in the high school Kewaskum band. So we have people from what, age 15 is it? Or 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. They're the ones that look like they don't have their own ID with them and they don't serve them any, liquor or any of that kind of stuff. Anyways, great being back here in Sheboygan at Fountain Park. I know years ago I used to come over here with my own big band, and we had the Jan Garber band play here on one occasion. And we were here last year. How many people were here for repeat performance, okay? Only a few. Okay, I understand the bus is coming, so there'll be a bigger crowd here, so you're lucky you got your seats when you did. We're going to start out right now with our theme song. And this is a song that was actually written by George and Ira Gershwin. It's a 1927 Broadway musical. It's from way back when. How many people were born 1927 or earlier? Okay, you people have won a prize before we even start playing. It's a brand new Cadillac convertible. Yes, you have to share it. Only one problem, it's in the bottom of Lake Winnebago. Now you know where Lake Winnebago is, right? So you have to get it out. I won't tell you what part of the lake it's in either. So here we go, strike up the band. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's nothing like starting out a concert with a nice peppy song. I used to do my aerobic exercises to songs to that tempo, and that was about 40 years ago. And now, of course, I do it to ballads. Anyway, we featured Eric Christie back there on the drum solo, ladies and gentlemen, from Kewaskum. He's a former band director at Kewaskum, and he retired this year at the tender age of 24. No. I'll tell you what, if you think those are bad jokes, you wait until I get into the heart of this concert tonight. Okay, well, we got our bodyguard showing up here, I think. What, you get a speeding ticket going through town? I'll tell you, Sheboygan, you have to be careful over here. Anyway, we're going to do a song right now. Usually we do a fast song, you want to sort of slow the tempo down a little bit, and we like to do a song that was a theme song of a big band of yesteryear. And we play a little trivia contest here to help see how many people can share in that Cadillac that's in the bottom of Lake Winnebago. In any event, the band that used to back up and do all those USO shows with Bob Hope, does anybody remember which band that was? They're from California. Does anybody know? Les Brown on the orchestra. Remember Les Brown, the band of renown? Well, he had two theme songs. Some big bands of yesteryear had one, but he had two. One was a fast song called Leapfrog. We're going to do the slow song right now that Doris Day, the actress, she sang with that band for several years before she went on to become an actress. This was a song that was published back in 1944, and it was written actually by Les Brown and Ben Horner. And this was Doris Day's first big hit in 1945. So we'd like to play it for you right now, and it was released, and it was really coincided with the end of World War II in Europe, and it was a very popular song. So here we go with a song called Sentimental Journey. Les Brown, Sentimental Journey. Mr. John Brown, ladies and gentlemen, on the tenor saxophone solo from Sheboygan, and from Kewaskum we had Clayton Faulkner III Uh-oh. I knew they were going to catch up with you, Art. You just got a head start over here, right? Yeah. I'll tell you. I was... Okay. Which one of you guys... You know... Oh, it's a fire. I thought we played hot music, but this is ridiculous. The jokes are getting better. I mean, I think the ad-lib ones forget the ones on here. Well, we're going to... and now somebody's horn doesn't, it keeps on beeping. Well, we're going to do a song right now from back, ladies and gentlemen, in the 1920s. This was a famous dance step. I'm sure you've danced foxtrots before, and of course waltzes and slow ballads, and of course now people are dancing more of those Latin type of songs, like rumbas, cha-chas, tangos, salsas, merengues, all kinds of them. I get confused when I even start announcing these things. But anyway, here's a song that was popular in the 1920s, and there's a song named after the particular dance. It was called the Charleston. Did anybody ever dance the Charleston way back when? You did, really? I'll tell you, a person can shed some weight. A 90-year-old person doing the Charleston? Is she here? She's dead now. She didn't die from doing the Charleston, did she? At every wedding. They're on, but she lived to be 90. Well, bless her heart. Wow. She was doing the Charleston at the age of 90. Wow. I can't even do it, I'm only 64. Okay. Wow. You hear that? You people have to start doing the Charleston. You live a long life. That's what did it, a glass of wine every day. See, I knew there was a catch to it. Okay, you just keep feeding me that information. I mean, it's better than telling these jokes I have up here. Here we go with the Charleston. Now, if you want to get out there and do that, we have a dance floor here. You can't do it, your aunt never taught you that. Well, you don't have to do it just like her. Well, really? Well, that never stopped other people, so what the heck. Here we go with the Charleston. We have that later on. I'll keep you title. Here we go. How come you came all the way at the end of the song? I was just starting to really, pardon? She's chicken. Well, we don't do the chicken dance, and I'm sorry we don't do that dance here, but no, forget that. But no, you're starting to get in the swing of things. I can't wait till we do the polka after a while. That's just, you're just getting warmed up. Well, there's all kinds of people. How many people want to dance a polka with this lady over here? Well, the lady over here will dance a polka with you. We might find the Barry saxophone player out here. I mean, he'd do it. He's got all kinds of energy. That's called a baritone saxophone. That's the biggest saxophone in the band. All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We just got done playing another fast song, so we're going to slow the tempo down. Here's a song that we're going to take you way back to the 1930s, 1939 to be exact. And this particular song was a very romantic British popular tune that was written back then, and it has been performed by several artists, including the Manhattan Transfer and Nat King Cole. Now, Manhattan Transfer was a group, of course, I think in the 60s or 70s, if I'm not mistaken. I lose track of time here. And this song is called A Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square. It's pretty tune. You heard that song before, right? You like that? You're crying now already before we even played a note. I can't understand that, but here. Was that his favorite song? Well, there we go. Okay, here we go. Nightingale Sang in Berkeley Square. There you go. Nightingale sang. It's nice seeing a couple on the floor dancing that way. I mean, we'll get more people out there before the evening's over. A Nightingale sang in Berkeley Square, a very pretty tune. It goes way back, of course, to Great Britain, and one of my favorite ballads. Right now, We're going to do a song on one of the very popular swing bands of yesteryear, probably one of the best swing bands I think I've ever heard in person, was Count Basie in the orchestra. And they performed a lot in Kansas City and the Chicago area, but I think they got their origin over in Kansas. Pardon? Oh, we don't have the piano player here. We're going to have to skip that. Okay, let's do Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. We'll get back to Hay Burner. I shouldn't even talk about hay burning. We got such a drought this year in this area. I'll tell you what. I got to tell you a story. You probably never heard of Curly Putnam. He wrote the song "Green Green Grass at Home." Remember that song? It's sort of a country western song. I just wrote a song this year called "Yellow Grass at Home" after the drought we had. I didn't go over the last time I told that joke either. Anyway, we're going to do a song right now that was published in 1963, and it's been used in movies such as Bridget Jones' Diary, and Coneheads, and Son of the Mask, and you even had Julia Roberts singing part of this in the Conspiracy Theory. These were all movies, and it's been performed prominently in the musical The Jersey Boys, and which is sort of the life history of Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons. How many people have heard of Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons? You know, we have 5 seasons here in Wisconsin. You know that? You know what they are? Spring, summer, fall, and winter, and construction season. Okay, that does it. What can I say? Pardon? Right, you did have a great winter last year, I know that. Here we go with Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. You get a chance to hear the Jersey Boys. They're traveling around and they're doing shows, and Frankie Valli's still going strong. I think he's in his probably late 70s, if I'm not mistaken, if not early 80s, and he had that high-pitched voice. So here we go with Can't Take My Eyes Off of You. Can't take my eyes off you, Clayton Faulkner in the third on the trumpet solo, ladies and gentlemen. For the 1963, I guess I was recorded back during that time period. And back during the 1960s, I remember staying up somewhat late after the 10 o'clock news to watch the Johnny Carson show. How many people remember Johnny Carson way back when? That's quite a few years ago. And they had a band director, used to be Skitch Henderson, who was a piano player, and then after he left the band, they had Doc Severinsen. How many people remember Doc Severinsen, the guy who dressed in all that fancy clothes, trumpet player? He is 85 years old and he practices 8 hours a day. Believe it or not, going around giving concerts. He was the associate conductor of the Milwaukee Pops concerts for quite a few years up until Marvin Hadlish, who unfortunately recently passed away, was the conductor for the last couple of years. In the band, they always picked on an alto saxophone player. I pick on our baritone saxophone player, but they had a guy by the name of Tommy Newsom. He was not too much hair, but he was sort of a nice guy to pick on. But he wrote arrangements for the band, and he wrote this arrangement. It was actually written for the Tonight Show band, this exact arrangement, and it was written for Doc Severinsen, the trumpet player. So we'd like to do it for you right now, and I think when I hear this song, the guy who really made this popular was Ray Charles, and it was called Georgia, after the state of Georgia. alias Georgia. Good old Tommy Newsom arrangement, written for Doc Severinsen. Well, we have a lot of great musicians that have come out of this fine state. Locally, of course, you remember Gene Heyer and his orchestra of yesteryear? When I was 16 years old, I went on a job with Gene Heyer. We got through playing at 10 o'clock and I got home at 3 in the morning. I'll tell you what, those guys, they led a rough life, but there's a lot of bands, good band musicians around these parts. And we had a band leader from Milwaukee, Wisconsin that really hit it big on the stage. And of course, back in 1939, he wrote there's a composition that was written by Joey Bishop, and this was one of his biggest hits. It's not his theme song. I'm talking about Woody Herman, the clarinet player from Milwaukee. And this song is played by quite a few bands today because it's got a nice beat to it. It's called Woodchopper's Ball. And we're going to feature several members of the band on solos on this particular tune. Woody Herman's Woodchopper's Ball. We featured Clayton Faulkner III back there on the trumpet solo. Also featured, of course, John Brown on the tenor saxophone solo from Sheboygan. John, your relatives must be here tonight. Oh, your cheering section. Also, we had Haley Jonas back there on the bass, Len Soler on the guitar solo, Eric Christie on the drum solo. And who did I leave out? Anyone else? Okay. Pardon? Yeah, I mentioned Clayton. That was the first one. Great. Okay. We're going to do a song right now. How many people ever took Latin dance lessons? I mean, you know, like rumbas, cha-chas, any of those kind of things? Well, we got a lady back here, okay? Because I mean, that's very popular nowadays. People are dancing those romantic Latin songs, and I like the rumba. It's one of my favorite. Anyway, but we'd like to do a bossa nova for you right now, and this was a song that's actually from the 1941 movie called The Fleet Sin. And it's according to a documentary. Johnny Mercer, who actually had a crush on Judy Garland, he wrote this song for Judy Garland, and to express his strong infatuation for her. That's a big word, Larry, you put in there, infatuation. I'm going to have to get my dictionary out to see what that means. But we're going to feature Bill Stungel over here on the trombone solo, and it's called I Remember You. I think you'll remember this song, too, when we play it. I forgot to bring the maracas out, and these are maracas, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you probably used to see them a lot larger than this, and they were larger than this, but apparently they got wet and I put them in the dryer, and that's what happens. Did I say something wrong? Well, these are maracas, though. These are the smallest maracas. I use these, sometimes with people sort of get hostile and they'll think it's a rattlesnake close by. And you just shake these and I'll tell you, they scatter. Anyway, we had Bill Stungel on the trombone solo on I Remember You. And that's why I didn't play the maracas during his solo. I didn't want him to think there's a rattlesnake crawling around near the bandstand. Anyway, we're going to slow the tempo down right now and do another one of those great George Gershwin and Ira Gershwin songs. Of course, one wrote the music, the other one wrote the lyrics. And this goes back quite a few years. And it's one of those nice ballads again where you can dance close to your partner. And we have a big dance floor out here, I guess, that these put together, I guess, for people to dance on. And so here we go with Embraceable You.
I think you were there.
Embrace me, my sweet embraceable you. Embrace me, you irreplaceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grew tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. I love all the many charms about you. Above all, I want my arms about you. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to Papa, do. My sweet embraceable you. Just one look at you, my heart grew tipsy in me. You and you alone bring out the gypsy in me. Don't be a naughty baby. Come to Papa, do. My sweet embraceable you. My sweet embraceable you. Embraceable you. Ira and George Gershwin put that music and lyrics together. Tom Downey, ladies and gentlemen, a very pretty trumpet solo in the back row on that particular song. See, those are the kind of dances I like dancing. I could see who my partner was years ago, and I could only move so fast. That's why I like dancing ballads. Well, right now we're going to do a song that was actually from one of those TV series back in, I believe, in the 1960s, and it was starring Jack Klugman and Tony Randall. Do you remember who that was? What show that was? The Odd Couple, right? And this is the theme song from The Odd Couple, and we're going to feature our piano players to kick off this song. Terry Christie from Kewaskum, and actually this came out in 1968. Now I know most of those were around in '68, right? But a few of those little youngsters out there, they probably don't remember this song. You got the Odd Couple. So you're talking about two opposites, right? One guy was sort of a sloppy guy, and the other guy was neat, but they lived together, and I guess they got along. Okay. I mentioned to Count Basie in the orchestra. There was another piano player besides Count Basie that had wrote some great music of yesteryear, and he also played piano. His name was Mr. Duke Ellington. And him and Billy Strayhorn, they combined with lyrics. Of course, lyrics were by Johnny Mercer, but this particular song we get so many requests for. In fact, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra, and Nancy Wilson and several others actually recorded this song among other artists, and I'm sure you remember this tune. It's called Satin Doll. Duke Ellington, Satin Doll, Terry Christie on the piano solo, ladies and gentlemen. And we also had, who else played a solo? I'm trying to recall these songs. Is that anybody else? We're going to do one more song for you, and then we're going to take a short break and be back with Salute to Glenn Miller, and we have a polka coming up and a waltz in the next part of the program. Unfortunately, we didn't bring along the chicken dance, and I have to apologize for that. But we have something better than chicken dance. We have some good old jokes. Now, I didn't write these, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to just tell you right now. And the person, if these don't go over, they're getting fired. Anyway, here's one for you. What do you call a cow with no legs? Now, we have a lot of cows in this area. Anybody? ground beef. Yeah, the only guy clapping back there is the guy who gave me these jokes. Here's one more for you. Why does a milking stool have only 3 legs? Because the cow has the udder. Hey, they get better. But I'm going to quit on these while I'm ahead. How does that sound? Because we're being televised tonight. I don't want to sit there and spoil my career as a comic down the road. Yeah, we featured Rachel Holmes on the alto sax, and also Tom Dowdy on the straight mute trumpet part back there. They were actually playing in unison at the very beginning and towards the end. And Sammy Nestigal was the arranger of that song, and he wrote a lot of music, a lot of arrangements for the Count Basie Orchestra. Right now we're going to take you back to one of those great TV series, and the trivia question is who starred in this. The name of the song is called Peter Gunn. Remember that sort of detective show years ago as a TV series? Does anybody know who starred as Peter Gunn in that show? Anybody? You do. Who was it? You don't know? What'd she say? The Grateful Dead. Oh, she felt bad because, oh, right. Craig Stevens. Craig Stevens. Oh, you knew it over here? Well, we have some historians here. Okay. We're going to feature our bodyguard over here, Mr. Art Mateos. And actually, how long have you had that beard anyway? I didn't hardly recognize you when you came tonight. You grew it longer. Are you entering an Abe Lincoln contest, or what is this? Okay, we're going to feature Art on the baritone sax. Show the people that baritone sax. That's one of the larger saxophones. That's not the largest. There's actually a contra bass saxophone that's 90 pounds. That weighs about maybe, what, 20? 25 pounds? Give or take a few, okay? And we're going to feature, I think, Len Soler back there on the guitar solo. And anybody else got solos on this particular song that we'd like to feature? Okay, they're thinking about it. So here we go with Peter Gunn. Okay, I don't know if I have enough cord left to get over there. Art, do you want to come up here and play your solo in front of the band? That'd be sort of cool. Okay, you just come up here. You know the solo by memory, ain't you, don't? Okay, I'll hold the microphone for you. How does that sound? Unless you knock me off the stage and you're on your own. Soul. Ladies and gentlemen. solo on the guitar solo, ladies and gentlemen, of Peter Gunn and Art Mateo. Stand up, take a ball, Art. I'll tell you, I never knew you had that many relatives out here in Sheboygan. Just kidding. Nice solo. I'll tell you, isn't it a nice sounding saxophone? I mean, if you have to march a four-hour parade, I'll tell you what, that's going to be a little heavy carrying that thing. Well, right now we're going to change the tempo and give you a very pretty waltz that was written by one of the finest composers, I think, of all time, and he wrote a lot of Academy Award-winning songs. I'm talking about Mr. Henry Mancini. And this song was actually made famous by Mr. Andy Williams. He sang this song. In fact, if you've ever gone down to Branson, Missouri, he's got a theater down there named after the song. It's called Moon River. So, a very pretty waltz. And if you want to come out to the dance floor and show off that nice waltz step, we'd certainly appreciate watching you. Henry Mancini wrote some pretty songs. That has to be one of the. He also, I guess, arranged on Charade and several other great songs from The Sweetheart Tree was another great waltz he wrote of yesteryear. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next song was actually, there's a different title to it before it became known as In the Mood, Glenn Miller's In the Mood. And this was written, I believe, back in 1937, but 1939, I believe, Glenn Miller, or around 1940, he wrote this particular song, and it was featured in the movie Sun Valley Serenade, starring, of course, the Glenn Miller Orchestra, Tex Beneke and all those people. I think John Payne was in that. There was actually actors in there besides musicians. And we get so many requests for this song, and especially this arrangement of In the Mood, because this is the authentic Glenn Miller arrangement. So we'd like to do it for you right now, so hold on to your hats, and here we go with In the Mood. We're going to feature, I think, John Brown, Sheboygan's John Brown on the tenor sax solo, and Rachel Holmes on the alto. The only time I get a round of applause like that is when I leave Kewaskum. Well, what can I say? my own joke that you used over earlier. Thank you. I tell you what, like I said, that song goes over wherever we play. I think it's one of the most popular big band songs of yesteryear, and people of all ages still dance to that particular tune. Well, this last year we lost a great legend, if you remember, way back in the 1950s, and this gentleman, he was still doing those New Year's Eve shows over the last couple of years. I'm talking about the Mr. Dick Clark, who never seemed to age at all, and he had the show called The American Bandstand, and there was a song that was written in 1952 for that show by Les Elgart, and his brother, name was Larry Elgart, and they had a big band, and they traveled around, and they actually did a recording of a lot of the big band songs, including this particular tune. Barry Manilow would later add lyrics to this song, and it became a very recognizable team. I'm talking about a song called Bandstand Boogie. I tell you, that keeps the old feet going and tapping out there. We're going to slow the... Pardon? A waltz? The blue skirt waltz. I dreamed of that night with you, lady, when first we met. We don't know that song, I'm sorry. That is a nice song. Unfortunately, we do not have that in the band. That's another song we're going to put in this library for next year. How's that sound? Unless you want me to sing it a cappella, and I think you might not want to hear that. You don't care. The band cares, though. But no, I played that many moons ago, and in fact, we just played that last week, believe it or not. In Clear Lake, Iowa, I usually have to play it over there and test it out there first before I come back to Wisconsin. But we're going to do a song for you right now that's as good as as popular as the Blue Skirt Waltz. And this is not a waltz, but it's a song called On the Sunny Side of the Street. And it was written back in 1930. And a lot of bands, including Louis Armstrong, Dave Brubeck, of course, and Frankie Lane, Benny Goodman recorded this song. So this is sort of one of those neat tunes. I think you'll remember this song. Sunny Side of the Street. That song was recorded by a lot of bands in yesteryear. Well, I'll tell you, he's a very fine singer who, unfortunately, I think he only lived to be around 32 years old, but he made quite a hit back in the 1950s, especially in the 50s. He started out singing, I guess, some rock songs like Splish Splash, I've Been Taking a Bath all Saturday night. And, of course, his big hit was a song that Louis Armstrong also recorded called Mac the Knife. And his other... But we're not doing that. I knew they'd want that song. That is a nice song. But he also recorded another song I think was almost equally as popular back in 1959 thereabouts. Bobby Darin recorded a song called Beyond the Sea. Yes, and the song actually was written many years ago. It's called L'amour. L'amour. I guess for you French students out there. Is that correct? Maybe we take French in here? It means the sea. Okay? I took 1 year of French and my grade went from a B the first quarter to a C to a D, and I hate to tell you what it was the fourth quarter. But anyway, here we go with Bobby Darin's Beyond the Sea. The sea, somewhere waiting for me. My lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the stars, it's near beyond the moon. I know beyond a doubt my heart plays me there soon. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Beyond a doubt, oh, my heart will lead me there soon. We'll meet, I know we'll meet beyond the shore. We'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'll go sailing. Sailing, so long sailing, bye-bye sailing, no more sailing, oh, no more sailing, no more sailing. We can go on forever on this, no more sailing. Yeah, thank you. Well, next time we'll do Back the Night for you, huh? How's that sound? And Louis Armstrong. No, we'll do that too. Well, now we have to do a song that was one of those, another great Glenn Miller classics, and this has got one of those real neat little groovy beats to it. It was written back in 1930s for the Ernest Hawkins Orchestra. Now, I know that wasn't a real popular orchestra, but he did have a band back then, and this rose to number 7 on the National Parade. Does anybody know what the first $1 million or million seller of Glenn Miller's was? What tune? Does anybody have any idea? Pardon? Chattanooga Choo Choo we have back here. His first $1 million or million seller. Is that correct? Good band historians? I think it was. I think it was that, because I mean he did stuff like, you know, Pennsylvania 65000 and a few others, but that, I think it was Chattanooga Choo Choo was one of his first big hits. Here's a song called The Tuxedo Junction. Randy, ladies and gentlemen, on the trumpet solo. Christie on the piano solo. Jonas on the bass solo. Thank you, the very popular Tuxedo Junction. Well, this is, right now, is the most important part of the evening because the most well-known song here in Wisconsin, and I ask this question wherever I go to play, when you hear of a polka, what polka comes to your mind? Beer Barrel. Well, no, they beat you to it. They said Beer Barrel. That comes to my mind second, Liechtensteiner polka, ach ja. But why does Beer Barrel polka come to your mind whenever you think of polkas? Because you have one thing on your mind, right? That's beer. And coming from Wisconsin, we have to have a little bit of that good stuff to drink once in a while. And this song was played by, at the Milwaukee Brewer games, the Packer games, and also down at the Badger Stadium, and even here at Fountain Park. Now the thing is, though, we're going to have you sing along. This is why I've been waiting for this moment all night. And if you don't sing along, because you're going to be on TV here. I mean, if you want to come out here and dance, you can really be on TV. And if you don't know the words, just move your lips, okay? So I'll tell you when you have to sing along. It's the part where it says roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun, okay, that part. And this gentleman here, he's going to go around and he's going to play like a cop and make sure that you people are all participating, right? And he might be singing the Liechtensteiner polka while we're doing the beer barrel, who knows? But I know that, so I've played that quite a few times, but I don't know all the German words to that. All I know in German is ach ja, and ein Prosit. That's all I know in German. Here goes a roll out the barrel, the beer barrel polka. you all to sing along till I hear you in Kewausee, Wisconsin. Here we go. Roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We've got the blues on the run. Yeah. Roll, sing Torero. Ring out a song of good cheer. Now it's time to roll the barrel for the gang's all here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into our last song for the evening. It's going to be one of those nice slow songs again that you can dance to after that up-tempo polka. I would like to thank, of course, the City of Sheboygan for inviting us over to perform for you. And again, this is the Kewausee Community Band. We have people that come down. We rehearse twice a month on every second and fourth Wednesday of the month at the Kewausee High School. And we have people that drive a long distance, all the way from Chilton, Fond du Lac, Grafton, West Bend. And several people here from Kewausee, they don't drive too far. Some of them actually walk to the rehearsal. But in any event, we always invite new people to come over and join the band if you can sing, if you can play an instrument. And John drives all the way over to Sheboygan, all by his lonesomeness now. And so you might keep him company coming over here. So if you are interested, the gentleman who started this group 4 years ago, I'm just up here sometimes, he asked somebody who could volunteer to make a fool out of himself or just tell some funny jokes. So I got elected for that. But Larry Amel, ladies and gentlemen, Larry, stand up, take a bow. He started this group 4 years ago, and we go out and we perform like tonight and for different functions, church activities. So if you want to book the band or actually talk to Larry about all the details about how we get a hold of us and book us, you talk to him, and we'll be glad to play, assuming that we're all free, which we usually are. We have nothing to do when we retire, right, people? Oh, that's all right. You're more busy when you retire. So I'll close off this concert. I'd like to thank you very much. You've been a wonderful audience, and I'd like to thank you for not throwing anything at me while I was telling those wonderful jokes earlier in the evening. We'd like to do a song right now that was written by Johnny Mercer back in 1944 and is performed by many artists. And the song was actually recorded and sung by the Pied Pipers, and of course Frank Sinatra was part of the Pied Pipers. And Roy Orbison actually, in more recent times, recorded this song. It's called Dream. So I hope that you have some nice dreams tonight of our performance, and God bless you, and have a pleasant, good summer. And don't forget to root for the Brewers. They're still playing, even though they're out of the runnings for the playoffs, but the Packers. So here we go with Dream. Muscombe Big Band, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. God bless you, my friend.